got the anime before it happens. Guess I also got Dollhouse Season 2. Since I got Season 1 and found out there's only the 2 seasons, might as well, right? Alright, so then let's... In this, I do believe there's only 3 things in here. We got Waiting in the Summer from Sentai Filmworks. Looks like a group of students filming something. Lights, cameras, teen angst. I guess it depends what kind of angst it ends up being, if I will or not care. So here we have a loose disc. It looks a little scratched up. Might be okay. Nothing that I couldn't polish. There we go. And then we've got InuYasha the Final Act, Set 2, DVD and Blu-ray versions. Nothing from Funimation this week. Nothing from Funimation this week. Did I miss something? I don't know. Well, let's see. Interesting. So the DVD version has 2 discs, but there's no images on them. 5, 6. There's images on the Blu-rays. Let's see. That's not all I got. Let's see. I got the. I don't know. We'll do whatever orders in here. We got a Spectral Force, an ADV release. Looks kind of intriguing. Yeah, I caught up on some old releases again. And so it's the return of the stickers. And let's see, this is 2013, so any of these are probably going to be about 5 years old minimum. Card. We got Spectral Force. Next up, we've got Taro the Dragon Boy, which I do believe is. It says inspired by Japanese folklore, and I can't help but think there's more than one in there. Are they the ones releasing stuff recently? My head hurts right now, so it's kind of hard to say. The other. Interesting. Next up, we have something called Tokyo Revelation. This is used. Don't know what to make of that. A manga entertainment release. Z-Mind. All 6 episodes on 1 disc. I wonder if I was under the impression that I only get like the first 3 episodes. If it's got all 6, that's actually pretty good. This is an old Bandai release. Huh. Oh, this is one of those stickers that falls apart. Darn it. it just disconnected right there. How wonderful. So I guess if I just take this part off and it stops falling apart as I do it, then, oh my god, I hate these old stickers that do this. There it goes again. Come on. There we go. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. There you go. We'll just take the rest of this off since that is so satisfying to know it is not on there anymore. Stupid sticker. I'm glad it doesn't have backup, I guess. Alright. The inside. Very curious looking thing. If I'm reading this right, this would be an 11-year-old DVD. Which may explain why the tape was so funky. And then the final new thing I ordered is I can't fucking read that. Or that. Tenamonya Voyages, maybe? I don't know. Another Bandai release. Huh. And the disc fell out. Go back in, disc. I think these are some interesting looking old titles. And beyond that, it came in this white envelope. A replacement disc for disc 1 of The Garden of Sinners. If yours hasn't arrived yet, it is probably en route. I did nothing to order it. I saw it reported on earlier today on the anime subreddit at Reddit, and this just says there's a subtitling error on it. I don't know specifically what the problem is, but somebody was saying that their subtitles were a bit wonky on their first disc, and they were speculating that maybe the subtitles, some discs just had bad subtitling or something like that. And I won't be able to tell until I have a chance to watch this, and it's 1:30 in the morning, so I'm opting to do this update instead of watching that and then doing the update, because I kind of value my ability to sleep. So there you go. That's all of this week's new anime. And since I did not spend the time to figure out what was wrong with the video processor, since I do believe it's an FFM, no, it's a CCCP issue probably, I'll just keep rolling, do this all in one take. I didn't really watch a whole lot anyways, although I guess somebody did mention twist at the end of There Will Be Blood. But that's not an anime, that's a interesting movie about, how did it put it, an oil baron, kind of? Guy who sets himself up to get a bunch of oil, become rich off of it, something or the other. And I guess I don't want to comment too much on it, other than the fact that the priest guy seemed really good at driving cameramen out of churches. I thought it was actually pretty interesting, kind of along similar lines of American Psycho, where it just kind of had a lot of thought-provoking stuff constantly happening, and there was an interesting twist. Although American Psycho did it a lot more suddenly and radically than There Will Be Blood. Instead, There Will Be Blood just kind of decided, well, I guess I don't want to say too much, and that's not anime. Let's see, talking about anime, Digimon. I got a little bit Digimon out because of all the saying of Digi stuff, and I just grabbed my head and said, alright, I'm not watching Digimon over lunch today, and I didn't do it today either. Pretty much because... Oh, yesterday I didn't do it because I just had something else on at the time. Digimon was just... I was doing something over lunch. I can't remember what. And last week, again, I reached a point where I'm like, they're going to just call something a Digivillage or Digisandwich or something, and for some reason I felt tired of hearing it. Otherwise, it's been going okay. Not too bad. Can't think of anything about it that's necessarily wowed me, per se. But I haven't given up on it, I just took a little break. In fact, my watching this past week has just been really slow. I also only watched 8 episodes of Listen to Me Girls, I Am Your Father. And I guess it makes sense to try and compare that anime to Bunny Drop, since there's kind of a similar premise of person who wasn't expecting to suddenly has to adopt a family member that the rest of his family was kind of going to ignore. Although in the case of Listen to Me Girls, I Am Your Father, it was more of a problem making sure they didn't get separated, blah, 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 blah. The trick is, with Bunny Drop, it's really easy to describe why you would want to watch it, what you would be watching, what you might find interesting. In the case of Bunny Drop, you have these two people who are trying to learn how to live together, how to adjust their lives so that they can live together. And there's a little bit of that in Listen to Me Girls, but not as much as it seems like there should be. And some of that comes back in plot-related things, but the big issue is it doesn't seem like that's necessarily supposed to be its primary form of entertainment. So I guess if you watch Listen to Me Girls, the thing you would be looking for is similar to cute girls doing cute things and then in a very subtly haremish setup with a little bit of learning to live together mixed in, kind of. But there's something off about that was on the edge of my mind. I can't remember. Like I said, got a headache. It's also 1:30 in the morning. So let's see. I guess it was one thing I definitely wanted to mention. So I mentioned that there's the kind of harem setup. One thing I was afraid of walking into this was it would have been too harem setup-ish. And I have to give it credit that it's not gone overboard in that direction, in my opinion. And so it stayed at a bit of okay place. Although I only got 8 episodes in because I keep doing stuff that requires me to pay attention to what I'm doing. Things like playing Team Fortress 2 Man vs. Machine, which I had never tried playing, and now that I got a chance, it's really addicting. Or some random programming projects I've been working on and stuff like that. There was definitely something else. Yeah. I can tell it's coming up soon. A rewatch of Evangelion, of Serial Experiments Lane and that stuff. Because I recently rewatched Evangelion episodes 13 and 16, which I think are my 2 favorite episodes. Not necessarily my 2 favorite angel confrontations per se, but I really like those episodes. Which,
probably means that I'm on the verge of about to rewatch those. It makes sense since I know somebody who's about to get the series and watch it for the first time. And for Zero Experiments Lane, same thing's happening there. Somebody's going to get it and watch it for the first time, and I would be really up for rewatching it again. So, there we go. That's anime. This week's update was kind of not too expensive an update for a lot of my stuff. There's a good handful of titles there, but some of those old titles are cheap to catch up on. But a part of the reason I didn't want to go overboard on that is because now that we are reaching the second half of the month, I do believe we have a lot of updates or releases coming out. So it should be fun to see how that happens. I can't think of anything else to talk about, so with any luck, I will not put off figuring out why my video editor is not working so that I can edit in a transition and not have to think that I have to do everything right on the first try and whatnot. So, there we go. That's this week's update, stuff I've watched, and y'all have a nice week.